Good evening, viewers. Welcome to Unique. This is your host, Dr. Akudo Ehirim, and we're still continuing with the topic, the face of cancer in our society. But we're going to put a little twist to it, the face of high blood pressure in our society. And in the audience today, I still have Dr. Angie Ubasi.
How are you?
Robin Wright.
Hello.
Dr. Florence Akin.
How are you doing?
Beverly Veren.
Good afternoon.
So, let's get the ball rolling. Guys, what are your views on high blood pressure? Can I start with you, Dr. Ubasi?
Yes, high blood pressure is a condition we have created because of how we eat. Afterwards, our arteries and nerves and muscles are all balanced when we're born, unless we have deficiency from pregnancy through the parents. But when you start eating a lot of acidic food, like I said earlier, less alkaline food, you build a condition that affects the pressure, and then instead of us to correct it, we take medication which is still acidic, so it makes it more acidic. So followed by the fact that we don't go natural. We do not clean the colon, we do not clean the arteries, we do not relax our nerves. We continue putting something that is very acidic, and it's acidic condition that causes the high blood pressure in the first place. Naturally, we have preventive way. Like many people use garlic. I give chance for others to eat.
Okay, Dr. Florence, let's hear from you. What are your views on high blood pressure?
Yeah, I know high blood pressure is a problem of so many people. You can have it low or high. And the low is the worst one. And high also is not good. So, and like the doctor said, that the food that we eat is what is causing all this problem, our diet. Yeah, because we do eat junk food, which is not good for our system. So to be able to get rid of this high blood pressure, we need to change our diet from all the fat food that we eat, the oily food, McDonald's, all this junk food. So we have to change it, to eat a balanced diet. And saying about food also, what causes high blood pressure is also stress. Because we do stress ourselves, maybe we are doing 2 or 3 jobs, and then we are not having enough rest. Because human being is supposed to sleep at least 6 hours a day in a dark room to be able to overcome all this problem. And when we are taking medication, the medication is suppressing the problem and not taking care of the problem.
Of the symptom, exactly.
So that's the reason why all this medication that we are taking, that you just suppress the symptoms and the problem is still there. So because I have, as an example for me personally, I used to have high blood pressure when I was working as a nurse, a charge nurse, that I will work back to back, maybe 2 jobs. Do morning, do night shifts. Then when I had high blood pressure, I was on medication for 2 years. And I asked my doctor, how long will I be on medication? And she said, for the rest of your life.
Oh, my
And I
goodness.
said, wow, I got to
Wow.
be on medication for the rest of my life? I said, no. Because when I was taking the medication, it was getting worse. I'd be checking my
It's like
blood
they
pressure.
keep increasing it.
Exactly. I'd be checking my blood pressure maybe 10 times a day, and it will be aggravating it. Then I say, what can I do? I don't want to live on medication for the rest of my life. So until I was able to know about natural health. So that was the reason why I went back to college to go to school to study everything natural. And I reversed everything. I changed my diet. I went through healing crisis. For over 10 years now, 14 years, no medication. My blood pressure is normal.
Change your lifestyle.
Change my lifestyle, change the food that I eat, build up my immune system. And that is the way that we should all go. Because if you are taking medication, it will be taking care of the symptoms, but the underlying problem
is
is
still
still
there.
there.
Okay.
So we need to do detoxification to detoxify our body so that anything we eat will be able to work better
That
in our body.
Robin, what are your views on that?
Well, high blood pressure, I think it's a silent killer.
Yes.
Because 9 times out of 10, the average person that has it don't know they have it.
Exactly.
And when they finally figure out they have it, they don't know what they need to do to maintain it. But I lost my mom in 1994. She had high blood pressure and heart disease. So it was, you know how sometimes older people are set in their ways.
Yeah.
And if she would have taken preventive help techniques, I think she would have
She
lived
would have
longer.
lived
But
longer.
she was like, well, I got to die from something, and I'm not going to change my way of living because, what she say, man is not God.
And you know, you said something. I've had so many people say that. Some people tell me, you have to die from something.
Oh yeah.
So
Yes.
why do I have?
It's like
I have
giving
talked to
up.
somebody. Okay, you're smoking. This is not good for your lungs. And he
Right.
turned around and he told me, hey, we are all gonna die. So if I'm going to die from smoking, that's okay by me.
Yes.
But it's not okay.
It's not.
It's not okay. You're trying to say, hey, I know this is bad for me, but I don't mind. I can die by it. Some people will say, so a guy told me, I have diabetes, and they're telling me not to eat this, not to eat this, not to eat this.
And
Hey,
drink Coke.
what am I gonna do? Am I gonna die hungry? I still have to eat something, you know. So sometimes we have to check what. Beverly, tell us a little bit your own views on high blood pressure.
High blood pressure, most definitely, I think it's a killer. A lot of families deal
The
with
silent killer.
it. Silent killer.
Exactly.
A lot of families deal with it. Know a lot of people that take the pills, and it just doesn't seem to be working because I feel like if you have to take a pill every single day for the rest of your life, it's not really doing anything.
At all.
Is managing it. You're
Exactly,
managing it, but
managing
nothing
it.
is
Not
really
solving
happening.
You
the
know,
problem.
why
The
not?
problem is still there.
Why not try to find out what has my blood pressure off? Why is it up? Why is it down? Why not try to find out what's causing this problem?
Okay. All right. When Dr. Florence was saying, she said something about immune system. Can you highlight on that, Dr. Obasi? Immune system. What has our immune system got to do with our health?
Our immune system has to help us when there is a lot of things going on. The immune system will get in and it causes inflammation.
Okay.
And it's all right. It's a natural effect. But it's when your body, you don't doing anything, it continue doing that, it weakens the immune system and the more inflammation, and that's when we start having a lot of problem. Inflammation in our knees, inflammation in our toes, inflammation everywhere.
Yes.
And also, when your immune system is defective, you're almost giving up because
everything can affect you.
immune system is what fights for you. There are many natural things you can do to build your immune system. One is clean your system, clean your blood, because these are places the toxins or problems have been to, and clean your arteries and relax your nerves. Unfortunately, we don't do that, and there are many good products for immune system that helps the immune system to be strong and healthy. Unfortunately, instead of us to go that route, what we do is drink coffee.
And make it worse.
Really? So coffee is really not, it doesn't help it?
No, it just helps you to be alert for a while.
Caffeine,
Yeah,
get
that's
lumps in your
caffeine,
breast.
Wow.
Especially if your blood type is you are O positive,
O positive.
and if you
okay.
are drinking coffee, a lot of caffeine, you have hand tremor. You know,
Wow.
when you are
Shaking
getting
and
old, you know,
trembling.
shaking, you know, the head.
Guys, I hope
Yeah.
viewers out there, I hope you're listening to this. So if your blood group is O, you can't, coffee is not healthy
It's
for
not
you.
good.
Wow.
It's not good for
my
anybody in the
goodness.
first place.
Yes. And you see, this is something we do without even minding. Every morning, oh, I must have my coffee. It's like a natural
addiction.
thing we do, and we don't know we are poisoning ourselves. I once had a guy told me, he said, when you're very angry and you can't control yourself, it's like drinking poison and expecting the next person to die. When you have an unforgiving spirit,
Oh,
you are
yes.
always angry all the time.
Yes.
It's like drinking poison,
That
but
is
you
true.
want the next person to die. Nobody is dying. You are the one killing yourself,
Killing yourself.
silently killing yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you're angry, you're stressed out. You said something about stress. I want us to talk a little bit on that. There was a pastor that was speaking to me, and the pastor told me the problem we have in the community with high blood pressure is because we are busy spending the money we don't have to buy the things we don't need, to please the people that are not watching us, and then we get depressed, and then we have high blood pressure.
Wow.
Listen to that. That's very
That's
deep.
deep.
Oh, yeah.
We spend the money we don't have
Yes.
to buy the things we don't need to please the people that don't care.
Mm.
And then we get sick. Let's take a minute and think about that, and let me hear your views on that. Take a minute. We buy things. Most of the time we go and do 3 jobs
Right.
just to go big in $1 million houses. And then we get so stressed out that we don't even spend a night
In
in
that
our $1
house.
million houses.
That is correct.
We go out there and we buy Bentley. We never spend time and ride our Bentley because we spend 16 hours of our day at work
To pay for the Bentley.
to pay for the Bentley. So most of the time we go out there to please people. Hey, my neighbor has a Bentley, I need
Living
a
above
Bentley.
our means.
And the worst part of it is that your neighbor doesn't even care
Exactly. Whether you have
whether you have a Bentley or not.
Right.
Your neighbor doesn't care.
Exactly.
You see, we put a lot of stress on ourselves because we are trying to please who is not even watching you. And then this money you're spending, you don't have. So let me start with you, Dr. Ubosi. What are your views on that?
But stress or
About stress, going out there, putting more stress on yourself, trying to please people that don't care, buying things you don't need, and that puts a lot of stress on us.
And that's #1 causes of cancer.
And that's #1 cause of cancer, exactly.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. We have said it in this other show, but talk to us about that too here.
I will use the Christmas, New Year, or the seasons for
Good.
festivity as
Exactly.
example.
Exactly.
Because that's when we spend unnecessarily. If you don't have, why do you buy something to please somebody who may not wear that thing you bought?
Exactly.
And then you have debts. And when you have debt, you start running away from debtors and you start checking your mail for
Screening your
lawyer.
phone call.
Yeah. So that is stressful, but mostly high blood pressure, even though stressful condition causes it, the most important thing that affects high blood pressure is what is within. And the artery is plugged and narrows the artery, and therefore the blood pumping to the heart is reduced, and then the blood has to use much force, and that increases the blood pressure. What we eat has a lot to do with it. When the food you eat is acidic, it really affects the blood pressure. One thing I can say, because I can't say a lot of them, but garlic with apple cider vinegar is a help. I'm just saying something we can drink of.
Drink it.
And aloe vera.
Natural.
But instead of us to go that route,
We'll go
we
that
drink orange, we drink coffee, we drink, and I say orange because there's 30 grams of sugar in that.
So acidic.
And why sugar is never healthy to anybody.
Wow. What about you, Robin? What are your views on that? Being stressful, pleasing people that don't care, buying what you don't need, high blood pressure going up.
Well, you know, this is the new me, 2014. Like I said, I'm too blessed to be stressed.
Exactly.
So I'm just, you know, I just sit back and I take each day one at a time, you know. I just, and try to think of ways that I can change me to have a better life for myself, how I can eat better, what I need to do to make me a healthier person to have a longer life.
Okay. Dr. Florence.
Yeah, stress, like I said, is number one causes of cancer because we all have cells that can develop to cancer, in our body. But when we stress our cell,
It triggers it.
then it triggers it. Then we have all this problem. So we need, to rest, to give ourselves time. A resting time to rest. So the reason why when somebody is sick is being, taken to the hospital and admitted is to rest for that period of time so that he or she will not be, running around. So if you can, just number one, wash our food, our diet, what we're taking. Like meat. Meat takes 7 days to be digested from the body.
Are you serious?
All
Yes,
meat?
meat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, meat. 7 days. And so if you are meat eater, the one that we ate yesterday is still there.
And you pile
Another
up
today
another one.
and piling up, and everything is lining the colon. So, and
I'm
so
gonna
all
start
these
eating
things,
beans.
so all these things, so they're really affecting us. So if you are eating like a lot of vegetables, you can even drink our food instead of chewing it. If you can juice
Mix it.
all these grains, celery is for circulation and for the bones, which is
Wow.
very good. Then beets is for our blood, to purify our blood. Then if you this spinach, if you can juice all this, pineapple have
just
bromelain,
drink it.
which is good, for arthritis. And all these things together, we juice it and drink it. That is excellent. You don't have even to take any medication or any supplement.
Wow.
That is so. That's why I say that let food be your medicine.
Listen.
So you have to eat right. Some people, they cannot do without taking something that is very sweet, which is not good
Which
for
is not good.
for our body. So, but whatever that is not good in our mouth, but is doing great in our body, that's what you have to stick to.
Exactly.
Like some of my patients, I tell them, stop drinking Coke, all these sodas. That's I'm used to it. But if you do the experiment, if you have a battery, a car battery that is dead, pour Coke on that,
Exactly.
it will
That's
start
true.
working.
That's
That's
Wow.
how
Yes.
acidic
Yes.
it is. Very, very acidic.
She's right. I've done it
Inside.
before.
Me
You've
too.
done it before.
Yeah.
I've
That's
done
how
that
they clean
before.
the
Yes.
battery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The acid, heat
Dead
it
battery.
up, heat
Your
it
battery
up.
give out. Just pour.
exactly, Coke.
And that's
Cola.
what we
Eat
I will
all
put
that
it in our
corrosion
body.
off of
and
it.
that's why we drink 4 or 5 cans
Yes.
a day
A
in
day.
our body.
It eats
So-
the corrosion off
So
of
we
it.
do a lot of damages,
So what about you, Beverly? What are your views on that? Stress.
Pretty much like everyone else has stated, we have pressures of life, everyday stresses, jobs, families. And when we don't eat the proper diet, we don't have the proper diet included each day, then it goes into our body is thrown off, and we can deal with all types of illnesses or whatever. I vowed this year myself to not let things stress me out. Like I stated earlier, if I can't do anything about it, I have to let it go.
You have to let it go.
I'm taking more of me time this year to relax, to rest, to get away, to do me. Because we're caregivers, that's what mothers do. We're so busy taking care of everyone else,
And not taking
meeting
care of
everyone
ourselves.
else's need. We making
Yes.
sure the husband is okay. We making sure the children is okay. The hustle and bustle of everyday
Everyday
life.
life.
And before we look, we don't know it.
We
don't
neglect
even,
ourselves.
We don't even know it, and we look up and we're feeling sluggish. We're dragging around
That's it.
because we don't take time out for ourselves.
And Dr. Florence said something. You said high blood pressure, low blood pressure,
No.
with no blood pressure. These none is good.
None
Can you
is
please
good.
tell us about it? Because some people will say, "Oh, I have low blood pressure. Mine is better." Oh, I have high
that's
blood
not
pressure.
good.
So
Right.
tell us a little bit for viewers out there to understand that low or high, you don't need any.
It's not good.
Exactly,
So
it's
tell
not
us a
good.
little bit
Yeah.
about that.
So low blood pressure is somebody that the blood is low especially those who are anemic.
Okay.
So their iron level is very low.
Okay.
So those people, they can just die at any time. Yeah.
You have to get too
I
low.
had
that's
to have
why-
a blood
Yeah, it can get
transfusion.
too
Low.
low.
That's why anything that is low, like low
Low sugar,
sugar, low sugar is worse than
high sugar.
exactly. Because when you have a low sugar, and they can just go into coma like that, and
That's how most
you
people.
have to put a lot of real sugar in orange juice for them to drink, for them to come back, to life. So anything low,
not
it's
good.
not manageable at all. But when it is high, you can still manage
You
it.
can still manage it.
To bring it back down like it should
That
be.
is really good.
So that's why those who are suffering from low, they should be eating a lot of beets, because
For the
beets
blood
will give you the blood.
circulation.
Yeah,
The blood
yeah.
Is it true too? Liver,
Pardon?
beef
Oh,
liver.
no.
Is that true? For your
livers.
blood.
Liver?
That's
Is
when
that
I have
true?
a question for both of you doctors.
Yeah.
Because that's what the doctors always tell you when it's
No,
low.
my
Yeah,
cancer
you can
doctor
take.
told
Yeah, you can
me
take
that.
liver. Liver.
and beets.
Liver is
That's
beets.
what
Yeah,
that's
beets.
what I've always
Okay.
been told.
Okay, but can I ask you ladies a question? My cancer doctor told me that I didn't need to do liver because the liver in the body is what toxin.
Yeah,
It
flushes
stores
everything,
toxin, so you don't want to eat anything that stores toxin.
Toxin,
And
yeah.
the last time I ate liver, I wind up in the hospital simply from eating the liver
I don't even eat
because
it.
Oh,
from eating the liver. And I noticed every time I ate it because I'm anemic
You
too.
will always
I would throw up.
You
I would throw up
Because
all
if
night,
your
throw up all
the
night.
way your body is saying, I don't want this.
Exactly. So he told me, and that just happened since I've been going through my battle with cancer. He told me no more liver because in an animal body and our body, our liver retain the toxins in our body. So does it in an animal's body. So no more liver for me. And that's just my opinion from being a cancer survivor.
Yeah.
No more liver for me.
Okay, let me ask you something, Robin. I know that when people go through chemo,
Yes.
it's like they don't have any kind of immune system. They can catch a cold easily.
Oh, yeah.
Anything
a
anything.
bacteria.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I had that to happen to me one time during my journey. I caught a bacteria. I don't know where I caught it from. I could have picked it up from live flowers. I could have picked it up from some seafood I ate or anything. We'll never know where the bacteria came from, but my immune system was so low. To I could not fight off it. And I was in the hospital for 8 days and 7 nights. And they were constantly pumping, and I was so disoriented. I can't even begin to tell you the medication that they gave me.
Okay.
And I don't know if they did it to flush the
The thing out of your system.
and I wound up getting a blood transfusion in the process too, because like she said, anything low is not good. And my blood got so low and the iron in my body got so low, I had to get a blood transfusion. So it's not a happy thing, and being stuck, I was intravenously being fed. So no food and eating through a plastic bottle more or less, and medicine, antibiotics, like you said, to fight off a lot of stuff and to accumulate other stuff that I had to deal with. So that wasn't a good thing at all.
Okay, from what I'm hearing from the two docs, okay, you guys are trying to tell the audience, majority of the time, most of these medications have side effects.
Yes.
That have side effects, that have side effects, and more side effects.
Yes.
But when you go the natural way, it seems like there are no side effects. Dr. Bossy, talk to us about that a little bit.
When you eat food that is the right food, you have what they call side benefit.
Okay.
Your body benefits because that's what it needs. God created us wonderfully, and we become co-creator by helping him feed the body, and we do it so badly because we don't do natural stuff, and because we don't do things naturally, we build up toxins. And unfortunately, like I said earlier, most medical drugs are very acidic. And our body is borderline alkaline. So we're breaking a law here also. And organs are involved, like adrenal and the arteries and the veins. And we're not doing any good service to them because the drugs are building acidic condition. However, something that is antioxidant and something like purifying the blood, like aloe vera gel. Many like green tea, they're very helpful to help you deal with cleansing. Unfortunately, again, we don't do these things. We continue putting more acidic things in our body. When we have high blood pressure, it affects the heart, and we still don't help it. So it starts affecting the heart more and more, and causing inflammation, and we still never would do anything like eat vegetable because, oh, I don't like vegetable.
It doesn't
But-
taste good.
But that's where the minerals are.
Exactly.
So that's what
Okay, Dr. Florence, chiming in there. What do you have to say about that?
About what again?
About we notice that when we go the natural way, there are no side effects. Highlight on that. Why is it? And why is it that people don't normally go that route?
Yeah, the reason why is that because they are all natural. So the medication itself, they still use herbs to prepare the medication, the pharmacist. But they use 3% of herbs and 97% of chemical. Because chemical, they are very, very cheap. So I normally do, the experiment for my patients when they come to the clinic. I put the capsule, that is medication one, put it in water, hot water, because anything goes inside us, it's warm, hot. And then the herbs, that is 97% herbs, in another water. Within 5 minutes, the cup that I put it, like this plastic cup, it will cut.
Are you serious?
Oh, yes. It will cut. They say, wow. And this is how it causes damages in our organs, all the organs. So, because of the chemical that is very cheap, so that's why they make the money. So that's why all the supplements, they're expensive, but they are good for our body. Because they only use 3% of chemicals to conserve it, instead of 97% of chemical
So
and
why
3% of
natural
herbs.
is 97%? So that's why it's expensive.
That's why it's expensive, and that's why it works better. So it's better for us to take something that will cure and not to suppress the symptoms.
Okay.
So
Because most of the time, if you have a headache, for example, why are you having headache?
it's symptoms of something going on in the body.
It's a symptom, exactly.
yes.
And majority of the time, somebody like me, when I don't have a good night's sleep, if I went to bed around 2 a.m. and then I wake up again by 5 to wake my children to go to school, trust me, I'm going to have headaches. Instead of me to saying, oh, okay, I didn't sleep well, what do we go to do? We
Pop
go
a
pop
pill.
Tylenol. We go pop something. We go take something. And then you take something, you feel better. 2 hours after, the headache is back. If, like you guys are saying, if we can go back to the origin,
Exactly.
find out the cause, and then deal with it from the root, then there won't be no symptoms.
Yeah.
But we keep dealing with the symptoms while we haven't found out what is causing it, and that's why it keeps repeating itself.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Bossy, anything you want to add there?
Yeah, it's not only repeating itself, it goes deeper. And continue damaging more things.
More things.
Unfortunately, we still don't pay attention, all because we are brainwashed and we have a wrong paradigm. Like somebody, I think you, Robin,
Yes.
Yeah.
says that the doctor told her not to eat liver. So she had programmed in her mind.
In her mind.
I'm just
Right.
trying to say,
Uh-huh.
it's good to eat liver though, but you don't eat the old cow liver because it has a lot of poison already in it.
Exactly.
You eat
Okay.
the young one, the young liver.
Okay.
Yeah, from the young cow.
Okay.
That is still fresh. You can gain a lot from it. Organ versus organ, it goes to the liver and helps it. And organ is a detoxifying, liver is a detoxifying organ.
Really?
Okay.
And it's the only organ in the body that can grow back.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
So it
liver.
needs to
And
be
it's the
organic
only
and it
organ,
needs
and
to
it's
be
the only
from the
organ
past.
that you must have a bit of it in order to survive.
Wow.
Even,
Okay, so
even if you
doctor-
cut a lot of the liver, but a little of it can start
Make it
going.
survive. Yeah.
Doctor, so you're saying that I can eat it, but it has to be organic
I'm not
or
telling
liver?
you. I'm not
Not
telling you
you.
anything.
Not you.
Because of you.
Because of
and,
me.
Yeah, because
Right.
your situation is a
Yes.
little bit
Right,
different.
right.
Because you just got off chemo and everything. So maybe you
stick
might
to
like
what
you
your
stick
doctor
to what
said.
your doctor said.
Exactly.
And you stick to what your doctor said for
I
the
was
meantime.
just giving an example.
She was just giving an
Paradigm.
example. Then along the line, because some of us, we just like she said, we are in this mind frame.
The paradigm.
Most of the times, what we have been told.
Exactly.
You know what we
Right.
grew up
You're
with.
right.
There are certain things we grew up with, like
Yes.
back home, for example, where I come from, Nigeria. They have this belief that you don't sweep in the night because if you sweep in the night,
You won't get a husband.
Oh, for us, you will get a husband, but
And
you're
see, for the
inviting
South,
other
you won't
people
get a
to come
husband.
into your house.
Oh, really?
You know, like the ghosts and
Right.
stuff, because there are so many
Beliefs
beliefs
and called
and
up hang-ups.
beliefs out there, and that's how we grow up. You know, that's how we
Exactly.
grew up. Depending our families, what your mom told you, oh, you don't do this way. That's what you do.
And that's
so
your
when you guys
custom.
when you guys now come out, that's why I think knowledge is power. Because now
Yes.
you guys are telling us most of the things you guys are saying. I'll be honest with you, this is my first time of hearing it. I'll be honest with you guys, and I know viewers out there too. If they will be honest with themselves, some of the
Yes.
things you guys are saying, they are new to us, and that's why it's good to create awareness. It's good to do this kind of show so that people can hear.
Yes.
Where do we go for help?
Yes.
Viewers out there, they are watching us, they are saying, okay, we know we're going the wrong way, we don't eat right, okay, crucify us, but where do we go for help? Where do we go for help, Dr. Obosi?
You go to a nutritionist or go to a holistic practitioner. Most of the time you can have books in the health food store or anywhere, but they will not give you much details, or they will not tell you the right brands. There are many companies that have the same name of a product, but some of them have 10% of the quality versus another one that has 90 or 100%. So it is a holistic practitioner or a nutritionist that will tell you, because they have the information.
They know the-
So
yeah.
sometimes it's good to pay to get right
What you
service.
need.
But
Mhm.
many people, I tell you this, many people, when you tell them it's natural, they say, I can handle it, I know it, I can go to internet. Not everything in internet
Everything
is right.
exactly.
And you're right again.
So
Dr.
you have to make sure you have right knowledge of what you're doing, and also
And
there
go
are
to the experts.
Yeah.
You guys know
Yes.
it. Go to who this is what they do.
Exactly.
Go to them.
and when you go to them, they will tell you there are many things that are contraindicative. There are certain things you can take and can't take. For example, if you have diabetes, you can take golden seal, but you can't take licorice. And licorice is good for the adrenal gland, but you cannot take it when you have diabetes.
Okay.
You see, and vice versa. If you have low blood sugar, you don't take golden seal.
Okay, so and you won't know this unless you go to somebody that knows it.
And maybe they will not explain it to you, but they will give you the right product if they know.
Exactly.
Oh.
So, Dr.
it's
Flores, where
according
do
to
we
your
go for help?
diagnosis.
Yeah, like she said, so we need to seek the help of natural practitioner. So there are some medical doctor now that they go back to school, so they are MD and ND.
Okay.
So one can, seek help from there and know the right way to take. Yeah, because if you are just saying that, natural is very expensive, and I only have insurance, and because insurance is not taking care of natural in Georgia.
That's one
In
thing we have
another
to
state,
talk
in
about.
California, the insurance is taking care because naturopathy doctor in California or Washington D.C. or Seattle or even South Carolina, they are practicing as a medical doctor. They can diagnose, they can do
diagnose
everything.
and
Exactly.
insurance will pay
But
for
in
it.
Georgia, so
They
right
don't.
now, so
always
so that's why they say that it's expensive, but it's better to take what is expensive and then cure the problem. than to just taking all this because if you have high blood pressure and you are taking a lot of medication, then you will have you'll be diabetes. That is side effect of the medication you are taking.
Wow.
And so now you are nursing high blood pressure now, then you are nursing diabetes. You are nursing cholesterol. So why can't you just go to a natural health doctor to help you out?
And pay for your well-being.
Exactly. Detoxify yourself from all these toxins, that are making you, to have all these problems, and then free yourself out so you can live longer.
And
Because
I'm
people
willing
are
to
living
pay
longer
for
right
my
now.
freedom.
Exactly.
Thank you, doctors. I am willing to pay for my freedom.
All right. Before we go, viewers, you have had it all. We've talked about cancer. We've talked about high blood pressure. But let us hear finally from these beautiful ladies. What do you have to say finally to the viewers out there?
Take care of yourself. Go to the experts for help. Make up in your mind that you want to live longer. You're going to do better. You only get one life.
And that's it. Dr. Florence.
Yeah, so if you want to live long and take care of your children and see your children's children,
Exactly.
so you need to take care of yourself.
Exactly.
By going to the experts and then, buy, whatever they advise you to do, sit down and just realize that, okay, it might be expensive, but at least I'm not suffering from all this problem.
I'm getting what I paid for.
I'm getting what I paid for you. So, because if you just say that, okay, I have insurance. So, like an example, can I give one example?
Yes, ma'am.
So there was one doctor who is a lecturer in medical school. So he had prostate cancer, and so then it was referred to me, and then the doctor told him, don't take natural, don't take any supplements, because they know that this man has a very good insurance. And taking natural would just cost him probably a couple of $1,000 to be okay. But because they don't want him to take natural so that they can take a lot of money. So after spending probably $200 or more than $200,000, then they say that, okay, Mr. Man, you can go and start taking
Natural.
After the person had been sent to the hospice to go and get ready to die.
Wow.
And then there's another guy who has prostate cancer. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer. So he wanted to know whether the assessment I have in the clinic is working. And then he did the assessment. It showed the same problem, that he has it. Then I asked him, do you want to go and do chemo? He said, no, I'm not doing chemo. I will just stick to
Whatever is going
the
on
assessment.
here.
So he's still alive
You
today.
see?
Amen.
He didn't do chemo, he just do the natural one. He's still alive. So it's better, to stick to what can help us. Not what will not help us, and then we pay a lot of money at the end of the
At the
day.
end of the day. All right, Robin, it's your turn.
I would say that information is knowledge,
Exactly.
and knowledge is the power to live a long and healthy life. And with doctors like these in our environment, we can all strive toward that.
Exactly. Exactly. Dr. Obasi.
And I will say that natural programs are not that expensive. The only way Dr. Florence is saying it's expensive is because it's coming out of your pocket.
Exactly.
It's not that expensive. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because
It's not.
the
coming
insurance
out
is not
of-
paying.
it's
It's
not.
coming out
And
of
now
your
for
pocket.
And
that
they're paying insurance,
and for that reason, I encourage everyone, write your Congress people, write your commissioners, so that they approve insurance for natural health.
in Georgia.
And remember, your health is your wealth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Amen.
And viewers, we have come to the end. We're about to wrap this show up. Like we have said from the beginning of this show, information is vital. Knowledge is power. When you know it, then you can use it. Remember, You cannot attract what you don't believe in. You can never attract what you don't believe in or what you don't expect. When you have an expectation, then you can attract what you're expecting. Then you believe it and it's going to happen to you. Guys, go out there. Some of us out there don't have doctors. Some of us don't even go see nobody. We have a headache, we know where to go get the medication for it. Our head hurt, some of us are individual pocket doctors by ourselves. No medical school, nothing. We can deal with it, we can treat ourselves, and we can even make recommendations for others. Go out there and meet the experts. There are people, Dr. Ubosi, Dr. Florence, and so many other doctors out there. They have gone to school for this. This is what they know. Just like you are a plumber, you have gone to school for that, and that is what you're doing, and you do it perfectly. Mm-hmm. We are all talented in our own way. That is how the society functions. Different colors, different strokes, different folks, but it all goes in like a rainbow. Different colors, but when you look up there, it is beautiful. That's how the society functions. Go out there and get help. Low blood pressure, high blood pressure, middle blood pressure, low blood pressure. Go see a doctor and find out what's going on with you. Some of us have had people say, oh, I have diabetes. Oh, guess what? Once you have diabetes, you must automatically have high blood pressure. Have you asked yourself why? Because of the things you put in your body. To cure one disease, you end up with 15 other diseases. Go out there and find. We are in a day and age when the internet is powerful. Look for a doctor around you. Look for a holistic doctor around you. Look for somebody, a nutritionist. Look for people around you. If you can't get on the internet, so those of us that are a little bit old, those of us that are not internet savvy, call your children and make them sit down and look for it for you. I am not that internet savvy. That's why whenever I call my daughter Casey, she's like, oh, Lord, mommy, I'll get the laptop. She knows, because there are certain things most of us can do on the internet. But those children can sit and do it in a minute. Use your children. Use your friends. Find out information. Information is power. Knowledge is power. Go out there, look for it, and try. Remember, you are beautifully and wonderfully made because you are unique in your own way. Thank you very much. Till next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.